Hey everybody, in today's video, the next step is we set up the Tusk Light Kit bar controls. Now this is just meant to use as a reference. Your placement may differ to your riding style as to where you want your switches placed for easy access. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to start with the main switch, which controls the blinkers, the horn, the high beam, the low beam, etc. This little rubber insert right here that you see, there's two of them. Make sure you attach them both like this to the back side of the switch. It'll help hold that nice and secure to the bars. Now, as you can tell, I've removed everything already from the bars that I needed to get out of the way. You're going to go ahead and I believe it's a Phillips screwdriver. You're going to place everything on here loose. Remember that. Never tighten everything down because you're going to want to move things to make sure that you can reach them easily. Okay, this next switch is your power switch. Basically, your on-off switch for the entire wiring harness. Okay, right now I'm putting the master cylinder for the front brake on the bike so that I can get the orientation of the on-off switch to where I want it. Now remember guys, I do have bark busters on here, and I did cut these bars down considerably for my single track application, so my placement may be a little bit different than yours. So keep that in mind. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put my start switch on, so to try and get that placed as well. Now remember, you've got to kind of keep everything where you can reach it easily from the grip. And this is mainly for safety reasons, of course. Then go ahead and get everything tightened down enough that you can kind of move it and adjust it if you want. Get a feel, see if you like where everything is. If not, go ahead and move it. I doubt you'll get it right on the first try, so be patient and take your time. It'll get there. I had mentioned a few minutes earlier that I had cut my bars down for single track application. I believe I cut them down about 1.5 inches, so I took 3/4 of an inch off of each bar. And I do have a video of that. I have not posted yet, but I will put a link in the description when it is done. So once you get your placement of everything where you think you like it, just go ahead and start tightening everything down. Make sure you tighten everything down and you do not forget to tighten anything. Next, we're going to go ahead and move around to the front of the bike and get the wiring sorted for the next step, which is going to be adding the headlight. So what you're going to want to do is I'm cutting off all these old zip ties because I have had this wiring harness on the bike for a couple of weeks while I waited for some parts. So I wrapped everything up nice and neat so that I could still ride the bike. Again, this is a trial by error. I found the best way to run your wires is find something that's already wired on the bike and follow that existing wire or cable and use that as a guide. That prevents a lot of guessing, and believe it or not, it really cuts down on the possibilities of pinching a wire. Again, I label stuff all the time. That way I know what I'm doing, because it may be 2 or 3 days before I come back and actually get back to working on the bike. And guys, just so you know, I am working on trying to pick up a decent mic so that I don't sound like I'm in a can. Anyway, once you get your wires labeled and you figure out where they're plugging into them, it's pretty much plug and play. This wiring harness, you can't really mess it up, but there is a decent instruction manual with, believe it or not, a fairly good wiring diagram showing you what plugs in where. All right, the biggest part of any electrical is figuring out where and how you want to run your wires, as I've said in the past. You really want to watch out and make sure nothing's going to get pinched. Next, we're moving on to the horn. As you can see, I chose the upper bolt for the side fairing plastics, I guess you call them. Now, my problem was the connectors were hitting on the radiator cover, so I went ahead and made them horizontal with that so that you could actually plug the wires into those connectors. This may take some tweaking as well. You may have to remove the horn several times, bending the bracket to get it to fit the way you want it to. This can be kind of finicky. You really want to be careful, especially if you don't have any kind of a radiator guard on your bike. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to secure these wires with zip ties, running them through the radiator guard. Now I'm going to use 2 zip ties. You may need to use something to guide the zip tie through the holes to make your life a little easier. But as you can tell, I placed 1 zip tie right where the plugs come out of the loom, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to check for fitment of the upper wire. I'm going to take it as close to the frame as I can, and I'm going to check to make sure it won't bind up or get pinched. And I'm going to do the same thing with this upper zip tie. And like I said, we're going to try and attach it as close to the frame rail as we can to where the wiring harness is going to go. Now we're just going to start cleaning up this wiring squid. Use a zip tie like I'm doing here. Kind of just secure everything so not everything's out flopping around. You can use zip ties, but I am going to use black tape. I'm going to use zip ties right now to hold everything tight, and then I'm going to go ahead and make a wiring loom using black tape, and it'll just keep everything nice and tight, hopefully preventing damage from pinches and so forth, wires getting snagged. You never know. You're going to want to make sure you keep the tension on the black tape so it goes on nice and tight. You're probably going to make more than 1 pass. As you can see, I'm cutting the zip ties as I go. You know, they just take up more room, and you're really going to need this thing to be as close to the frame rail as you can to prevent pinches and so forth. Okay, and it might be a tight fit, but I try and use all the original wire harness fasteners that I can. This will be a very tight fit. You may need to use a pair of pliers to get them to pinch back together, but it will work. Just be patient, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to run them through the fork tubes. And if you need to run a couple more zip ties, go ahead and run a couple more zip ties. Again, it's all trial and error. See how clean that ended up looking? There is no way that anything can be pinched. You may have to reroute them a few times to keep them safe. And like, go ahead and zip ties are your friend. You can't use too many of them. Just make sure the wires are very secure, because you do not really want to snag a wiring harness like this. It could really end up in a bad way. Go ahead and trim up all your zip ties and periodically check that you're not having any issues as far as pinches go. All right, and double check all your wiring. Make sure they're ran the way you want. Make sure they're secured firmly with zip ties. All right, our next video, we're going to go ahead and install our Trail Tech Voyager instead of the headlight. I figured, why not just get that installed? That way we don't have to take stuff off and put it back on and so forth. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.